to our entire backbone of this chamber, and they very much are the lifeblood that keeps this heart pumping. For every time that we've said, where are we at? And somebody's got to turn around and tell us where we're at. Or what do you mean we can't do that? What do you mean we got to open it up again? That's a great one. What do you mean we got to open it up again? Can somebody explain what you're voting on? To all the things that you guys do to keep this train moving. And we so much appreciate it from all of us. And Mr. Weston, thank you so much for recognizing, as you said, the most important people in the room, that rain or shine, no matter what's going on in their lives, they're always here. And they're always on top of everything, all the time. And it's incredible what they're able to juggle and multitask. But more importantly, or worse yet, is putting up with us. And so for that, we truly appreciate it. So thank you very much for recognizing all of the backbone of this chamber. Thank you very much. Let's give them all another round of applause. Brian, congratulations.
I'm going to turn it over to Brian for a few words.
20 years in this chambers. I got more than a few words.
Your time is up.
Okay. Yeah, and I do appreciate, Erica, you not starting that clock. This did come as a total surprise, and I really wish I would have prepared something to say. I'd love to thank President Weston for doing this presentation today. I'm not sure how much they paid him, or if they guaranteed him that the Cleveland Browns will win a game next year. But thank you, Mr. President. My dad, who is here today, served 20 years with the LAPD and then another 18 with the CAO. And he asked me once if I would consider a career with the city after knowing I was putting in 60-hour plus work weeks in the private sector. So I put in my application, passed the test, got an interview. Now keep in mind, the only interview I had ever had before coming to this city was standing in the middle of a retail store with a manager asking me, "Are you willing to work nights and weekends?" The minute I answered yes, I was hired on the spot. So I go to the interview, sterile white room, no windows, 3 complete strangers staring at me on the opposite side of the table. I come out of that room, my heart racing, dripping sweat, to see my dad waiting and ask me how it went. I told him terrible, and how this one interviewer had such a mean look, he didn't smile, had no expressions whatsoever, and didn't seem to like my responses. Wouldn't you know it, turned out to be my first supervisor in the city, and here I am 28 years later. I served as legislative assistant to various committees before getting drafted, and I do mean drafted, to sit in that chair as the council clerk. I remember my first day in that chair up there. I was so nervous, making sure I didn't mumble or spit on camera, only to have council audio come up behind me during the meeting and whisper in my ear that Channel 35 had called to let me know my hair was sticking up in the back of my head. Really? There's the motivation that I was looking for and the confidence booster. But needless to say, I survived that meeting and went on to do that job for almost 9 years. After leading the Council and Public Services Division over the years, I'm very proud of the entire CPS team and what we've accomplished together. And I do want to say that again, together. While there are a number of great individuals, none of the accomplishments would have been possible without collectively as a team. I want to thank Holly and Shannon for believing in me and trusting me to lead this division, for allowing me to be me and make decisions without interfering. And I want to thank all of my staff for their hard work, their patience, understanding, and probably most importantly, their tolerance over the years. I'd also like to thank Sharon So, Karen Kay, and the entire CLA staff for their support over the years. Thank you to the CAO's office, city attorney, and city staff whose path I've crossed over the years. After surviving valley fever in 2011, losing my mom in 2013, and suffering a heart attack in 2015, not to mention 3 wonderful marriages and subsequent divorces, I realized life is too short. It's truly been an honor and privilege serving this great city, this council and mayor, but it's time to write the next chapter of my life. People have been asking me, "What are you going to do in retirement?" And my response is simply, "Whatever the hell I want." Thank you for this incredible presentation today.
Great speech. Well done. Well done, Brian. Congratulations. Let's go ahead and go into multiple speaker items now. Mr. Previn,